Our story starts with Evie, a young woman living alone in New York City.
Her life is quiet, empty, and emotionally heavy.
She recently lost her mother, the only family she ever knew. With no close relatives left, Evie feels disconnected from the world and unsure of where she truly belongs.
Evie's loneliness isn't just emotional, it's deeply rooted in identity.
She doesn't know much about her family history, and the absence of answers leaves her feeling incomplete. In an attempt to find some connection, she decides to take a DNA test,
hoping it might reveal something about her past. What she doesn't expect is a message from a man named Oliver, who claims to be a distant cousin. Oliver explains that Evie comes from a
wealthy and influential family with roots in England.
According to him, her relatives have been searching for her for years.
Soon after, Oliver invites Evie to attend a luxurious wedding at a grand estate in the English countryside.
He promises that the trip will
give her a sense of belonging she has never experienced before. Despite her hesitation, Evie accepts. She believes this invitation might finally fill the emptiness she's been carrying for so long.
When Evie arrives in England,
she is immediately overwhelmed by the sheer scale of the estate.
The mansion is massive, elegant, and isolated from the outside world. Everything about it reflects power, tradition, and control. The guests are wealthy, well-dressed,
and extremely polite, but their politeness feels rigid, almost forced.
Conversations are formal, emotions are restrained,
and everyone follows invisible rules.
Evie quickly realizes that this place operates very
differently from the
modern world she's used to. Women are expected to behave modestly, while men hold authority. Every action seems guided by tradition rather than personal choice.
That's when Evie meets Walter, the owner of the estate.
Walter is calm, charming, and highly intelligent. He speaks with confidence and carries himself like a man who is used to being obeyed.
Walter takes a special interest in Evie. He listens to her, offers her guidance, and tells her that she is special, that her presence at the estate is not a coincidence. For the first time in a long while, Evie feels seen.
As days pass, Evie begins settling into life at the mansion. She enjoys the luxury, the attention,
and the sense of importance she's never had before.
However, subtle warning signs begin to appear.
She notices that phones barely work. Guests rarely leave the estate. Certain areas of the mansion are off limits, and questions about them are quietly dismissed. Evie befriends Grace, another young woman staying at the estate. Grace seems nervous, always watching her surroundings. She warns Evie to be careful, but avoids explaining why, as if speaking the truth could bring consequences. Meanwhile, Walter grows closer to Evie. He gives her gifts, shares intimate conversations, and talks about legacy, destiny, and tradition. He suggests that some people are chosen for greatness,
and that Evie might be one of them.
But his kindness feels conditional. The more attention he gives, the more he expects obedience. The atmosphere at the estate slowly grows more unsettling. Formal dinners feel more like rituals than celebrations.
Guests speak about loyalty, honor,
and sacrifice as if these ideas define their entire lives.
Evie notices that women at the estate are
treated more like possessions than individuals.
Their identities are tied to their roles, not their choices. Grace finally opens up and hints at the truth. Women like Evie are not invited randomly. They are selected.
The estate follows an ancient belief system that values bloodline, obedience, and tradition above all else.
Women who fit specific criteria are chosen to join the family permanently, whether they agree or not.
Evie begins to understand that her DNA test didn't just connect her to family, it marked her.
Walter's personality slowly changes. His charm fades, revealing a darker side, one that is controlling,
manipulative, and unforgiving. He explains that tradition must be preserved at any cost.
According to him, personal freedom is a weakness,
and obedience is the highest form of loyalty.
Evie is no longer treated as a guest.
She is watched, restricted, and pressured to accept her role. Escape becomes nearly impossible, as guards monitor the estate, and loyal followers enforce the rules. Grace attempts to help Evie, but her defiance leads to devastating consequences. Her disappearance sends a clear message. Resistance is punished.
Evie realizes that survival depends on intelligence, patience, and timing.
Instead of openly fighting back, Evie pretends to comply. She listens, observes, and waits for the right moment.
She learns how the group operates, who holds real power, and where their weaknesses lie. The estate thrives on tradition and control, and
Evie understands that breaking those systems requires subtlety.
During preparations for a ceremonial event meant to seal her fate,
Evie gathers evidence and allies wherever possible. Every step she takes is dangerous, but she refuses to surrender her identity.
Her fear turns into resolve. The ceremony begins, filled with symbolism and ritual. The estate's followers believe they are about to complete something sacred.
But Evie strikes back.
What follows is chaos. The carefully constructed
World of control collapses as secrets
are exposed and loyalties are tested. Fear replaces order. Evie confronts Water directly. Their conflict represents more than survival.
It is a rejection of tradition used as a weapon.
Water believes destiny is inherited. Evie believes destiny is chosen.
Their clash is intense, emotional, and symbolic.
In the end, Evie escapes the estate, leaving behind a system built on control and fear.
The ending of The Invitation
is not just about escape, it's about reclaiming identity.
The movie explores how loneliness can make people vulnerable to manipulation,
and how power hides behind tradition and charm. Evie's journey proves that belonging should never require surrendering freedom.
True strength comes from choice, not bloodline. She walks away stronger,
no longer searching for validation in places built to control her. If you enjoy psychological thrillers with dark secrets,
strong characters, and powerful endings, subscribe for more movie explanations like this.